This episode of the Cab Grand Rising Show is brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. For the first-time visitors who may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly is, Autochthonous Assembly, or A2 for short, is a gathering of minds that do the work. A2 is a non-profit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous Americans' voices by using genealogy, also known as family history or family tree. Genealogy is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages in history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Autochthonous Assembly's core values are the foundation of its company, essential to its success, and serves as the lens through which it evaluates every business decision. The core values are integrity, know and do what is right, respect, treating others the way you want to be treated, responsibility, embrace opportunities to contribute, servant leadership, serve the common good. Along with a key emphasis on genealogy, A2 is also committed to providing our communities with information and access to available grants and funding through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Agriculture, the Farm Service Agency, and other departments and agencies that offer programs to help them become self-sufficient. Reputation, Autochthonous Assembly continues to strengthen the growth of the relationship and development of our communities. Peace and Grand Rising.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
We're live. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, greetings. How's everyone doing this night, afternoon, evening, depending on your location?
Depending on when you listen to this. Shout out to
That
everybody
too,
out
that
there.
too.
What's going on, Copper? Andy, yo. What's going on, Bone?
All right.
Nothing much. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a long time. I think what? Right before the No Grandma Killers tour?
We live?
It's been a while.
We live. Feels so good to be back. So really, how y'all been? How everybody been out there? How the panel been? It's been a minute. Well, not really, but really.
Grand evening. It has been spectacular.
I'm tired. My body weary. No, I'm all right. I feel great. This feels like, what is this? You riding a bike, right? Gabrielle, where's I heard you.
Yeah, the funny thing, it took a minute. I was sitting down outside of the office, sitting on the other microphone, and I had to realize, oh, I got to turn the computer on.
What is this?
It's been a minute. I'm like, but yeah, like anything, get right back to it. So, I mean, there has been a lot going on since the last time we spoke to everyone. I know one thing.
Yeah.
I know that No Grandma Killers tour, that first one was on point. Second one right around the corner.
Yeah, I like how smooth the rough draft was. So, and class don't usually go like that. Rough drafts is usually just you got to butcher them up. Nope. Smooth sailing. Let's go.
So my sister Gabrielle, what you been up to?
Working.
Well, we know.
The real work is done.
All the time.
Getting business going. Them programs work.
Hey, Gabrielle, you disappeared on us a few times. I was like, wait a minute now. What happened? You like went ghost.
You know what?
I kept joining the Zoom. I'm like, why am I the only one still? It's usually Gabrielle. Nope.
I actually was getting equipment and stuff together because 2020 vision and all. They would have got away with it if it wasn't for A2. So yeah, I was getting stuff together. No Grandma's Killers tour coming up, so business, sharing, sharing is caring.
And like you said, we know it's been a minute since. We know it's been a minute since we've been live, so we decided after everything that's been going on, all the back and forth, the distractions, because that's all it is. We decided to go live and just have this community developed discussion. I mean, realistically, on what's been going on behind the scenes, what's in the progress, and what can we do to sit down at the table to make sure that we have the major stake in redeveloping our communities. So anyone got anything they want to catch the audience up on while people still filling in?
Ooh, me, can I please?
You got it.
So, anyone wanting to establish a business or having a business established, again, utilize SBA. It works. It's something as simple as filling out the form, putting in your information, and receiving funds. Whether it's the start of your business, whether it's the loss of income, or if it's the loss of employees, if it's to get equipment for your business. Again, I know Bones and Double Cousin and Copper and Doodoo have gone over programs so much. When I tell you A2, it's where the real work is done and you get real honest answers for resources that can actually be utilized. The programs work. Period.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
And how would you know they work?
I applied. I applied to several different programs. Um, Not only did I get approved, I also received those funds. Um, just want to throw it out there too. Again, when you're dealing with SBA, as long as you spend 70% of the funds that they give you, it's called SBA, small business loan. But understand that when you take 70% of the funds that you receive and spend them on your business, it is a forgivable loan.
And one more time, just in case somebody just walked in the room.
Yeah, one more.
Just in case they just
from
walked
the
in
top.
the room.
From the top. What are you even talking about, Gabrielle? I didn't hear you even. What subject are we on right now? Grand evening, everybody. For anybody who just walked in, we're gonna give a roll call in a minute. But peace and grand everything to y'all. Gabrielle, from the top, please. What?
You take 70% of the and you spend it directly on your business. So 70% your overhead, your product, your equipment, it may be on payroll. As long as 70% of those funds that you receive are spent on your business, it is a forgivable loan. And let me just explain. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just about to butt in real quick. Sound like a realistic solution.
Absolutely. So you got to think. You receive the funds, you're able to sustain your business. You can be a small business, and I mean, you can be a small business with 5 employees. And those, I mean, let me put it to you like this. You can be a sole proprietor with 5 employees.
Uh-oh.
They heard you.
And this is verifiable information directly from the SBA because you know from your SBA meetings, correct?
This is correct. This is correct.
I don't believe you. Got a link.
SBA.com.
You better use
So
it.
serious. They have different programs. Now, I also will say this. Those USDA programs, they work too. Okay. You know what? They all work. I'm not even going to diminish one. All the programs work. And I'm not saying it's just like a free for all. If you're serious about business, if you're serious about doing, whether you're a sole proprietor, whether you're a LLC, a nonprofit or for profit or whatever, you know what? It was I can't remember the company, but the company, this particular company, and you would think this is a $1 million company. They actually were able to, they applied and were able to receive funds through SBA. Just saying, just want to put that out there.
And we got a quick question from Copper Color Ancestors. Greetings, long time no see. Audio.
Yeah, hold up, man. Hold up. You can't just be coming in asking questions. Hold up. Grand evening.
Copper Color Grand evening, Copper Color Ancestor.
Quick fast.
Oh, she wanted to know, were there any are there any stipulations?
To now, okay, yeah. And I guess this is me answering. So if you have no income, okay, let's say you were a sole proprietor last year. If you really have no traceable income, don't play any games with it. The only stipulations is that basically just be honest. Whatever income, no matter how minimal or how maximum, so to speak, it's really basic questions. And I mean, they're so basic that it's one of those things that it doesn't, the forms don't pry into your real deep into your personal business. It's about business. So what did you make last year? You know, and it's calculated by, you know, okay, this is what you made. This is your overhead. It's really, really basic. The only thing that I guess stipulations would be if you're not a business, yeah, if you're not a business, even sole proprietor. I hope
Hope
that
that
helps.
answers the question. No sellouts. You can
Zoom
go ahead and
line
do the
is
honor for the
wide
shout out.
open. Yeah, I can. Mic check.
1,
Like
2,
that.
1, 2.
Yeah, y'all. I'm just letting the chat know. Zoom link been wide open since since it's been open. I mean,
It's been open.
Oh yeah, y'all know how this is. Numbers on the screen. Call in.
After the
Proof is
live
not a
build,
problem.
live build, however you want. Questions, comments, concerns, and or corrections, please hit us up at attentionassembly@gmail.com or check out the website or hit the Zoom link. It's live.
Matter of fact, no sellout. During the break, where it was an online break, because we had more physical work to do, boots on the ground. Did we get any rebuttals?
Bro, how many years has it been? That's all I got to say. It don't change. It hasn't changed. I don't know. I don't know if this thing.
I'm just checking, getting the rust off. Just want to make sure.
Did we not pay the YouTube premium bill? I don't think that has nothing to do with anything. You can post free videos. I mean, everything's free anyway. Is this thing on? Is all I got to say. I mean, the videos is posted. We have seen some recreations though, Bones. I'm not gonna lie. No rebuttals, but recreation.
Did you say recreatures? What?
You almost made me.
It's the evening time.
What that got to do with it? It's Friday though. I'll give you that. It is Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
I know you know what Friday means. Shout out to Carrie Bay. Hold on, let me get this roll call. Peace. No, grand evening, everybody. Copper Color K, first in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Pamela Hall, peace relative. Man, I gotta get that word out. Grand evening, relative. Cotrell Atwood, grand evening. Brother Lawrence, there you go. What's going on? Terry Merritt, grand evening. Carrie Bay, there you go. Yagua, am I saying that right? Yagua or Yagua Z, chucking the deuces. There go Cab right there. He unmuted himself. Appreciate it. Celestial Love, appreciate you. Latanya Cates, welcome. Peace. Grand evening. Copper Chopper 803. What is going on? Copper Color Ancestor. That's stranger. AI Jesse. Grand evening to you.
Hey, Jesse.
Ancestor.
That's Jesse, but not Jesse.
Jesse? not the 1983 Jesse. Not that one. Not.
Hey, Jesse.
Copper India. Hold on. Is that David Corey? Shout
Grand
out
evening.
Grand evening. We live.
Yes, indeed. How's everybody this afternoon?
Oh,
it feels good to be back.
Where you at?
I know that's right. No salad. Everything good?
Yeah, everything gravy. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish up this roll call because I got a name.
Yeah, we live.
No, let me finish. Hold on. I'm only got a few more names. Peace to the 757. Shout out to he on the panel. What's going on, Copper? Lily Orchard. How'd she get a wrench? Peace. Grand evening, Gabrielle. Doodoo Vision 2. Or Flames himself. It's Friday. Still, where you at, James? It's still Friday. Rico Indios. Grand evening. And I know we got some names out there that are not here yet, but grand evening to you too. Shout out to triple cousin, super cousin, quadruple cousin, Parker. Shout out to who else? Michael Brown, Harris Cheek, and them, an associate.
Me.
Mad Vibes. Grand evening. Welcome. David Corey ain't in the chat yet, but I'm gonna shout him out because he's here on the panel. Grand evening. And I think we caught up.
So we can't forget, we got one of our own. We got one of our own. I don't know how we can categorize it. Sports, athletes, superstars, and our brother Mike Easton on the panel with tonight.
I didn't even scan the panel. Grand evening to you, Mike, and Elle as well. Grand evening.
There's the reason why some people still ain't been to DC yet, but that's a whole nother story.
Ain't even there.
What's good, Mike?
What's going on? It's the Hulk. The Hulk, not the don't come to DC. In quote. Which one you want? But yeah, that's what's going on. Brittany Davis, peace. Grand evening, sis. Grand evening to everybody in the chat. Anybody who can't type right now, don't type and drive. Pull over, use voice chat, voice to text, do all that. Yeah, the line is wide open.
You know it. The line is wide open. It's hot. It's open. Late.
The line's wide open.
Hot like fire.
Do I need to post it in there? No, I ain't gonna do that yet. Yeah, everybody knows what the link is right now. It's on the screen, I believe. Is it? Yep, it's in there.
You know it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But
all right, we'll call up.
But back like we were saying before, and how Gabrielle was just mentioning, one of the programs that we as a community can access, and that's through the SBA, for us having our small businesses that benefit our communities and our families. And a lot of people hear the word loan and get instantly deterred. But if you look into the further details, and like we say here, proof is not a problem. You don't have to take our word for it. You can contact your local SBA, and they'll tell you the same thing that you heard from our sister Gabrielle. If you spend 70% of it towards the business, it's forgivable.
Shout out to Liz Robinson. Grand evening.
To the panel so far, just off of that little bit right there, what y'all feelings is about that? The potential and the possibilities of the things that we can get accomplished just off of this one program.
I like the fact that if, a lot of people haven't heard of it. There's still people leaving things on the table, just look into it. There's stuff out there for you still, I appreciate that, Gabrielle, throwing that out there. consciousassembly@gmail.com.
Again, it's something that can be accessed to people that do have small businesses. And like we said before, it's not about access to just getting free money. No, it's a mechanism that's designed, if we do the right thing to rebuild our communities, the finances are available. And now, let's say if we build these institutions and we start working together, companies to companies, community to community, then we can pull our resources together. To me, it seems like that's a lot more leveraging power. I could be wrong, but
sound right to me.
Anything else anyone else on the panel want to add into it on this part?
I just wanted to reiterate something that's been said on this platform before many times, but there's a lot of complaint in our community about people who are able to come here from other places and essentially set up shop and make a living. This is how many of those people are taught to do this, but that information never gets to us, hence why a lot of this is stuff that's not commonly known in our community. This is not something that needs a whole lot of out of the way accounting tricks or legal tricks or anything like that to get done. This is something that people who don't have very much of a formal education that come from other places are taught to do, and they're able to do legally and successfully, and they're able to have, at this point, have taken care of generations of their families on. It's high time that we be able to do business and take advantage of the same thing that the rest of the world has been able to take advantage of here on our land. So this is high time for us to get moving. There's a lot of work to do, and it's time to get to it. We talk a lot. We have been talking a lot. A lot of our relatives have been talking a lot, but as you can see, if you look around, there's never a dull moment this year, especially. we don't have a whole lot of time to sit around and continue talking. It's time to get at it now.
Correct. And my brother Pop, if you don't mind me asking you a question real quick, and you get the perspective because in your profession you do a lot of traveling actually outside of the country. So you get a chance to deal with individuals that's not basically trying to think of the right word. That's not really subject to the same bombardment of foolishness and programming that we go through. Through your personal experience, what have you learned how the world actually views us and our potential?
I spent some time last year in Hyderabad in central India. And when I was there, I had the good fortune to ride around with one of our the people at the that was driving the shuttle at the hotel we were at, and he knew everything about Hyderabad. Told us about the old city and how it was there since the 10th century, and about the new city and all the stuff they built. And they told us exactly which members of Congress and people in the State Department in our country gave them the funds to build what they built there. Hyderabad used to be a mountain, and that mountain is leveled. I've gone to the highest area in Hyderabad and looked around, and it's horizon as far as you can see.
Good gracious.
They leveled it, and you can still see boulders in the street and around some of the construction sites where they've been chipping away at what was left of the mountain. And this man showed us where all of the major construction projects and investments were made from people here. That was an eye-opening experience. And the people over there naturally are thankful and grateful for that opportunity to get those funds to build the things that they have there. But the problem is, I come back home to a community that is starving. I come back home to a community that is looking for a way out by any means necessary, even illegal means. And we're seeing politicians use the same things that we now have found in this past year that are available to us to help the world, literally to help the world. I'm talking about 9.5 hours out of the Eastern Standard Time Zone. These people are literally on the other side of this place, and they're getting funds from people that we elect. And this is significant because this puts everything into perspective. It not only puts into perspective what is happening with our money. This is money that we're giving the government when we get paid. They're paying the interest on all of these loans. And I'm not talking about the loans that they're giving out to citizens here. I'm talking about loans they're giving out to foreign entities abroad, banks, corporations, nonprofits in other countries, excuse me. We're not just talking about American citizens that are subject to a lot of what's going on. We're talking about the world. This is a big deal. And a lot of people are benefiting from things that that have been hidden from us. And these people that are in other places, when some of them have been able to come here in a lottery, and I don't think a lot of people know that, but there's a lottery that had been drawn, I think up till recently, to allow certain people from other nations to come here and get a path to citizenship. And a lot of these people, when they talk to the State Department, when they talk to people at the embassy, they get a lot of this information we're just now uncovering. But everybody assumes we don't read. Everybody assumes we don't research. And it just takes a few minutes to find the things that we've been talking about. It doesn't take a whole lot of digging. But they're able to come here and get those resources. And they take those resources and they take care of their families. And they not only take care of their families here, they send money back home and take care of their families there. So I don't want to dwell on that with answering the question, but it puts everything into perspective about why these loans are so important, why these resources, and it's not just the loans, it's not just the grants, even with some of these, it's the information that you can get, the resources that give you a pathway to get certain things done with business. Let's say if you want to do something that's got nothing to do with agriculture, there's still a path to get that done. Whatever talent you have, we're all talented at something. Even those of us that don't seem like we are or don't think that we are, we're talented. This place became what it is because of our talents. And we still have the means to start businesses, to get the seed money to start these businesses and to thrive on our talents, not working for somebody else, doing what somebody else thinks we should be doing, making what they think we should be making, on our own talents. And like you said before, Bone, the only thing limiting us is our creativity. I mean, that's powerful. We have all of this opportunity and we're letting the world take advantage of it. That's the biggest thing that I've learned traveling outside of the United States and talking to people, both from a corporate perspective and an individual perspective. Because there are people, a lot of my colleagues want to come here and do the things that we're talking about doing. These are people who are in India. These are people who are in the Philippines, in China, in Japan. People that would love nothing more than to come here and do the same things we're talking about doing. And other people have other ideologies, I understand, and everybody has their own perspective. But what we're talking about doing is not only something that we can well document that works for American citizens, but other people from abroad have been able to come here and use these same resources and take care of themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm. That part. I mean, to me, it shows proof that it can be done. That if we do the work, we work together, we pull our resources together, that we can rebuild our communities using the same programs that other people have been using for years that we didn't know about, but now we are aware. And that's why I say again, when people ask for a solution, this is a solution that works. This is a solution that many have been using and are using right now. I mean, any other thoughts on the panel?
I got a whole lot of thoughts. Guess what, Bones?
What's that?
Them programs work.
We know it. Just
Them
trying
programs.
to spread the word as quickly as possible.
And I mean, it's a reiteration. I mean, you can't really follow behind what Copper just dropped. I'm not going to even sound as profound as him. But genuinely, I mean, utilize those programs to establish what you need to establish, to become what you can become. We can use these programs. We can establish these businesses. We can get to that point. We can help each other. We can do this. And I mean, the more I fill out, and again, shout out to A2 all day long. It's not just in business where I've gotten help. It's just so many different aspects. And the more that just keeps happening, it's just every step is like, whoa, this is happening. Okay, this is happening. At one point where I felt like or thought that it wasn't obtainable, everything became obtainable. Everything became doable. And that's just with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you can't, then most likely in my mind where I'm at now is It's all in your mind. If you think you can't, then it's because you think you can't.
I mean, and that's why I say again, solutions. That's just one. Another one is individuals building institutions in the communities. And just alone from the No Grandma Killers to now, I mean, I'm glad to sit here and let everyone know we have over 30 brand new American Indian businessmen and women in the community, and many more are coming. But as of right now, there's 30 brand new American Indian businesses that are up and running.
And many more coming right behind that.
And this is powerful. I for something with that statement. If you got this many businesses that are starting up, that are being run by American Indians, and these people begin to network, which you'll find that if you look into this and talk to the people running them, that's happening now. But when you see that these people are beginning to network, when you see that they're beginning to start utilizing their resources and collaborating to get shared objectives done, this is the power that we've always been told we didn't have. This is the power to begin not only changing things in our communities, because that's the one thing we all came here for, is to help our communities. But there's a power that's much greater in that. You're talking about a power to begin to change the influence that's held over people who make these laws. There's a lot of people talk about about getting out from under this system or that system or whatever have you, being free of it, so to speak, to being, not being dependent on it. And it's admirable to not be dependent on any government to do everything for you. However, if you begin to influence or get the backing and the resources and the money, the power to influence the people making these laws, you can make the laws work for you. You don't need to dodge the laws. You don't need to find some kind of legal loophole to get out of the laws. You can make the laws work for you. This is what the same thing, the people we complain about, this is the same thing that they're doing, right? Again, we're complaining that everybody's, we're complaining that everybody can't do. Now that we have a path here, we can do what they're doing, and we can do them the right way, because then we have control over them. That's power. They talk about in Exodus where it's time to go talk to the Pharaoh, where Moses and Aaron have to go talk to the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh says, you come to me with no power? If we do something with these resources that we have, that have been with us for, at this point, generations, we can go to Pharaoh with power, and we can make him listen. So just thought.
And just to compound on what you were saying on that, look at just the 30 new ones, and then the 15 before the No Grandma Killers tour. These companies are American Indian companies. Because thanks to our sister Phoenix Moon and Tasha Shee, and they'll be giving more information about it, we now have the Urban Indian Historical Society, which gives us the ability to use our companies and to use this society for political donations to any candidate or political policy the American Indians need to get across. So think about that simple part there. By the businesses that we are starting, we can then take our finances, maneuver them through this 501c4, which has political ability, the ability to spend up to 49.9% of all income that was brought in towards, again, any political candidate or campaign. Any questions from the panel?
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mean to tell me that if we needed somebody in office who would be able to represent us, we needed somebody in a position who would be able to represent us, we'd be able to do that?
To the point, it can be somebody right out of the chat with the qualifications to get the job done. Why not?
You mean to tell me we can pull our resources together to make this happen?
Like our brother Carter Indio laid out so elegantly well, everybody else been doing it. And that's just, and the funny part on that, brothers and sisters, that's just the political benefit from it. And this is to all, the second part, the main benefit to it is to everyone that has a problem with us and all the American Indians that represent genealogy. For anyone that want to take shots at the American Indian, this is addressing to you directly. We have the Urban Indian Historical Society, meaning we're not only talking this, we now put the responsibility in our hands to take our genealogy records and store them. Actually, we can put them in a society, all of our genealogy, cross-reference them, and put together a full American Indian tree.
Hold on.
Legally.
Hold on. You said this society means what? Means what?
What?
This society means officially, thanks again to our sister Phoenix Moon and Tasha She, that we control our history. We now have the ability to start getting colleges and funding to dig in the North Americas. So when others are talking and reading books, we put the foundation down to be the writers of the book. We have just put the foundation in stone that we are the keepers of our stories and our history. So now when we do our search and our journey, we come across historical markers. We have the mechanism to make sure it remains a historical marker so our ancestry and our homeland can't be forgotten. So when people asking what's being done and want to see proof, not only are we walking the walk, we are also layering the bricks to build the foundation to make sure once we know who we are, our future generations will never forget again. And that section was brought to you by the ones that talk so much that don't know nothing.
I think I got it that time. I got it. I got that.
Every society that has had a wrong done to them always comes back to that disaster, that tragedy, and they say never again. And they don't just say never again. They actually put the infrastructure in place so that that can never happen again. They make sure not just legally they can't be put in that situation again. They make sure culturally they never subject themselves to that again. They make sure that they are the keepers of their history. They are the holders of their culture. They're the preservers of their culture. And that they control the destiny of their people. This is how this happens. And I want to add something to that in that measures are going to be taken. I can't be very descriptive about this yet, but measures are going to be taken to document not only genealogy, but a few other historical facts about American history and world history so that not only can the American Indian culture and history be preserved, but the world can finally know parts of its own history that have been long left buried. Because we're finding, as we find out more about ourselves, we're beginning to find out more about the world and how it became what it became. And we talk a lot in this community about America being the grandmother, about it being the mother culture. What does that mean? What does that really mean? That means that children left their mother, went and grew up, and came back home. That's what you see now. America's children have come back home, but they think the mother is the freeloader that's squatting in the apartment next to us. They have no idea. And all of us talk about it. Even those that don't necessarily agree with our viewpoint, they talk about the same thing. But information is being gathered and being documented. Timelines are being built. And pretty soon, the world will be able to find out and learn about its own history from us. I wanted to add that in because a lot of work is getting done. Some of it can't be quite as open as other things, but a lot of this information that we're learning isn't just being looked at and forgotten. It is being collected. Timelines are being built so that we have a clearer understanding of when things happen, not just what happened. And it's not just us doing this. You seeing the likes of UB News does a great job documenting things, building timelines of when things are happening. So I'm not just saying this for any one group of people. The community is doing this. And that's what's important, Bone, that the community is doing this. It's not just one group of people. This isn't a cult of personality. Everybody's not depending on one or two people to do something. Everybody's working. That's our power. When everybody's doing it.
Mm-hmm. And Coffee Indio, I got one more question for you. Well, it's not really like a question. With this historical society that now has the ability to have anthropologists and archaeologists to do digs, don't we have an inside track on one of them professions, if you don't mind me mentioning it?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question one more time? I didn't catch the last part of it.
For this new society of ours, we have an inside track on an anthropologist. Am I correct?
Yes. Formally trained. This is not a joke.
So we have the institution. We have the brothers and sisters that are qualified. So now all we got to do is just do.
Right. And like I said, I mean, you know, I mentioned Brother UB News. I'm a longtime follower of his work. These people aren't necessarily, some of these people at least, aren't necessarily affiliated with any of us. You know, I don't claim any affiliation, and you know, with the work that he's doing, he does a great job. He does that for him, right? A lot of people in our community are very talented people, but they're getting the work done. Is the point? But also, yes, you've got people here that have been trained for this, that have been that have degrees in this stuff, in history, anthropology, archaeology, people that could go to a site and know how things are excavated, people that could go to a museum and be able to lay everything out. This is not a joke.
So,
and a lot of it,
basically what we're saying in a sense, they can take it as a jab, stab, punch, hit, however they want. We're not limited to history. We're not limited learning our history from a book.
Correct. Some
That we are in position to write the book. Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Sorry about cutting you off.
Oh, no, not at all. The most useful information that you'll find in some cases will not come from a book. It's not in a PDF. It's not in an archive. Really useful information is, but some of it you got to go out and find. Like Brother James does. Some of that information you got to go and talk to Chicletos. Sometimes you got to go out there into the field, whether it's in a small sleepy town in the South, or whether it's in another country, and talk to people. We spend a lot of time going through books, and that's great. I mean, there's a lot of useful information, but sometimes you got to get out there and talk to people. You got to get out there and talk to relatives and ancestors, and sometimes you got to do that. But people are doing this work. Make no mistake, this is getting done.
Sound like work to me. I mean, before we switch gears on the Urban Indian Historical Society, any more input from the panel? I mean, any questions from the panel? Anyone
You
from
don't
the
like
chat?
work?
The calling number is on the screen. What you saying? No sell out.
Nothing. Just about to get this roll call. Catch up, see if anybody new is in the chat.
Come on.
If I can get the chat back up. There. All right. From the bottom up. Here we go. Hold on, I gotta turn y'all down. I'm hearing the repeat. P. Parker. Oh, she's on the panel. What's going on, triple cousin? Quadruple, super cousin. What's going on?
Oh,
Carrie
I
Bay.
hope they don't think they just don't sit up here and don't say nothing tonight.
I know,
No,
right?
let me stop playing. But really though, no.
But seriously, no. Mr. TJ, grand evening. Who else we got in here? Rico Indios, I believe we spoke. D. Ferrier or Ferrier, Enlightened Ones, grand evening. Who else we got in here? The Ohio player, TG's and Pope. Grand evening.
Player.
Oh man. We are in the building. Peace. Grand evening to everybody that is in the building right now. Shout out to y'all. And grand evening to the panel as well. Knock this rust off, y'all.
I mean, and there's still more. That was
Ain't no rust.
That was just, what's that? Two solutions so far.
Solutions? Hold up.
That people are actually using and getting real remedies and real results in real time.
That was more than 2 solutions and remedies.
Wait. I know she started off with the loan. Don't forget about that, man.
I'm trying to get the benefit of the doubt, but I know it's like
I remember
probably 10 so far.
About their own thing. It's a solution-based platform. Oh, it was. It is. It definitely is. How many more we got, Bones? We just keep going, right? Diaspora L. Grand evening.
We just getting started on solutions. Continental Assembly, we've been solution-based from day one.
It's a solution-based platform. The serious version.
From its inception.
Not just saying it. I mean, look, did the mission change? I don't think the mission statement changed, bro.
I mean, but that alone
added to it
is another proof that it works, because the same mechanisms that we have talked about every day for a year is the same mechanisms that we built this nonprofit on. So as sure as we're here working every day, helping people get their businesses established, helping them find out what resources are available to them, that's proof that there are workable solutions, that you don't have to compromise your culture to rebuild your community. I mean, one of the simplest things that you can do is farming.
Right.
And by farming, if you think about it, the first thing it provides is the need of food for oneself. But let's dive a little bit further into this farming that we have talked about so much. Let's see how this basic thing that a couple of us on the panel, a couple of us in the chat this evening have been doing over the last couple of months. This same farming allows us to start up our own industry because it's enough of us farming right now that we can literally supply a farm to table industry. There's enough of us now, it justifies for us to be able to get community farmland. But again, it takes us working together, seriously being a community again. We can't be running around hollering Indian, tribe, but you're never practicing the culture. You're never embracing the things that made our ancestors who they are. And it's funny, by doing something that a couple of people on the panel who've been doing it chime in at any time, that especially Brother David Corey, if you there. I mean, you one of the best at it that I have personally watched.
Man, can I add something real quick? That
Go ahead. It's an open flow, open discussion. By all means,
I sure was about to ask Gabrielle if she was here. You know, the farming thing. Peter Parker and David Corey. Man, this co-op.
Okay, so listen, did you know that even if you're doing raised bed farming on your property in a residential area, you actually can get a dang it, I just had a brain fart. It's a farm ID number for that property.
Yes, you can.
I mean, that's where you live. Now, not all neighborhoods are set up like that, and I get that. But if you check it out, you could be in a residential area and get a farm ID number for that property, even with raised beds.
And that's enough for you to tap into funding for urban gardening, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And I mainly ask you this question, my sister Gabrielle, because not only do you speak on it very well and very educated in how it works, you took the information and actually started the American Indian Farming Co-op in a sense, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Also, Community SAPS is official.
Yes, Community SAPS.
What?
Raised bed gardening.
So not only are we talking about it, there's also another American Indian nonprofit organization developed to help the American Indians get back to their roots of farming and agriculture and producing for oneself. Am I correct here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, raised bed containers. Raised bed is a form of farming. It's agribusiness. It's agriculture.
And not only just talking
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And not only talking in concept, I mean, technically, you're ready to move physically. Product and stuff already sitting, ready to go.
Yes, because of A2. Shout out to A2. They would have got away with it.
Ain't nobody doing that.
I was able, hold on, let me stop because I'm still putting stuff together. Okay. So I was able to figure out my monthly overhead, figure out what my cost would be for, I guess product, equipment or whatnot to get things utilized to be able to service the community to where I can give, or not even I can give. The nonprofit can give to the community to combat what is called brain fart again, food deserts.
And I'm sure
And
we
through
got
this
On to
nonprofit,
A2. This
and
is
through this community nonprofit, you're able to help American Indian communities of need in all 50 states and surrounding U.S. territories, correct?
yes,
Uh-oh. So when there was one, now there's two?
yes. At the end of the day, that's why I say if you think you can't do it, it is literally your thought. You think you can't do it. And I'm saying this because I was at a point where I was just like, dang, I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to do that. And none of that was true. None of it was true. Again, those programs work. I filled these forms out online. All of it was like hope and faith and taking a shot. And it was just like, oh, wait, I took a shot. Wait, hold on. Stuff is moving. Stuff is happening. Wait, I'm able to get this equipment. I'm able to get this product. I'm able to get the things that I need for this nonprofit. I'm able to get the things. Like, all of it works. All of it works. There's no crazy paperwork. There's no crazy forms. There's no crazy anything. All of it works. All of it is legit.
And how much did A2 charge you for any service that you have received to date?
Y nada. Nothing. Nothing. You know what it is? Everything costs, even conversation. All you have to do is pay attention. And I paid attention.
To the point and what? You've been riding with us what, 2-3 months now?
Man, look, y'all can't get rid of me now.
We got a community co-op for all this gardening that we've been doing. Oh. Shout out to Davita Carter and them out there, doing great things.
Absolutely.
I got a question.
I don't know why David Corey up here and want to type in the chat like he don't know nothing about no gardening. He the one when we was talking about some gardening. He turned the camera on. He got a phone.
Man, he got cabbages that's as big as whole people. Come on now.
That brother growing some of everything.
For real.
Listen,
for
real talk though. That's our brother loving to death. If it come down to that farming stuff and you need a little bit of tips, I mean, ask him. And not only him, even P. Parker. She don't speak that much, but even with her little setup. I mean, it's because of them why Autonomous Assembly is successful. Because, like our brother Copper Indio said, it's not the individuals, it's the community that's doing the work. The institution just brings the information that helps the community access it, to know where the funds and resources are. But it's the individuals that listen every day, that apply the information, that makes all this possible. Get in that dirt.
Wonder what you call sweat equity, Bone.
Yeah,
actually
that's
doing
what
the
that
work.
could be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All this good work these brothers and sisters doing, lining up to get the cash in for their communities, their families, to put us in a better situation, actually giving us leverage to get things that we need done because we can take care of our basic needs. And like I mentioned before, when we talk about farming, don't be limited to thinking of just food. A lot of your textiles that you wear come from farming. A lot of the oils and things comes from farming. It's a whole industry that we can tap into. Again, we're only limited by our creativity. I mean, what's your thoughts, Nocella? Because I know like the healthy eating and farming, that's really your category. So what's your input on it?
My bad. I was in the chat. Mic check.
Two.
But that was you, mic check. Can I be heard?
Yep, you can be heard.
Man,
Two.
okay. So, Bone, you know me.
Yep.
I do not want to see these fast food restaurants all up and down the street in these neighborhoods. And Gabrielle, you mentioned it earlier, food desert. What's the definition of a food desert, Gabrielle? What is it, like a mile?
The definition of a food desert, if you are in city limits, it's within 1 mile. You can hit more fast food restaurants or restaurants in general than you can any farmer's market or grocery store or fresh produce market. If
What's that, like 30% of where the majority of us live?
Right. And if you're in the rural area, it's 3 miles where you hit more restaurants and fast food restaurants than you do actually fresh produce or farmers markets. Sounds
like they just caught 85% of our population on bad food alone.
I was literally about, look, Bones, there you go. I was about to say, does that sound like healthy eating for our people? I don't think so. I don't think that sounds quite. No, I mean, I know that's probably the reason why a lot of us that are in bad health have eating disorders or even eating diseases, I guess we call diabetes and things like that. Yeah.
But even with that, how can you complain about this law, this not being a law, this title, that title? Right. I don't need a license, this and that, but you don't care about the food that you are putting in your body.
Right.
We're gonna argue about black, white, more, all this stuff, but we're not gonna have the discussions that really matter. About producing a cleaner diet for our population.
A lot of our grown-ups are not even concerned with where their food is coming from in the first place. Like, what's the source? But they got an attitude with a lot of other things, but not where their food is coming from. That don't make sense to me. Well, that's something that you literally do every day. Unless you're fasting, that's something you do every day.
Right.
I don't think you research every day.
Right.
Come on.
And it doesn't. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what your bank account looks like. It doesn't matter, what your credit score is. It doesn't matter how much capital you can procure at any time. If you can't feed yourself food that's nutritious for you, you're not going to be around long enough to enjoy all of that.
Yeah.
So if we're going to rebuild our community, we got to do it from the ground up. That's how we've always done it. And the most basic part of what makes us healthy enough, because you're talking about a lot of people that have done and spent a lot of time studying history. And for anybody that has, whether people that agree with us and how we do things or people that don't, we can all agree that in our history, part of how we were undermined was our sources of food were cut off from us. Didn't matter what kind of trinkets you had. If you couldn't eat, you couldn't fight, you couldn't take care of yourself, you couldn't protect your family. How's that any different from today? Mm-hmm. Agriculture is our culture. This is who we are. This is what we are. And not everybody's going to be interested necessarily or especially talented in growing food or growing their own food or what have you. But as long as there's enough of us that can produce enough food to feed our people, we don't need to go to other people begging.
Right.
That's what.
And you know what's funny about that, Carpo?
You know what?
If enough of us get together, if enough of us get together and farm enough food to feed ourselves, then the federal government would give us funding to produce enough to feed the others.
No.
It's that
just said real. No. Okay, hold on. Did y'all hear him say real quick though?
Man,
that ain't real quick. What you talking about, Bone?
Say it again.
What are you even talking about right now?
Again, right now, by us forming this co-op and farming, this is a service to the urban community. So when these produce go to the people in our community that need them, or the stores that set up, that's a service. So now we can put together a proposal and show where we fed XYZ amount of people of our community. And with XYZ amount of funding, we can reach another XYZ amount of our communities for feeding. I mean, we letting everybody else do it and they giving us poison. We can't do it to make sure that we eat healthier.
Exactly.
The funding gonna be there regardless.
Yeah.
I got a
Thank
question.
you. Say
I got
it
a
again,
question.
Bones.
Say it again, Bone.
Say it
The-
again.
The funding is going to be there regardless. It's either we take action and produce for ourselves, or we're going to sit back, keep whining, and letting other people give us what they want.
Mm.
So Bones.
And that's why I say
now
all
we
these militant militia want to get together in our image. It's stupidity. How you going to fight somebody and you don't produce nothing? So when the war break out, you think they're gonna let you buy guns and ammunition from the stores? Man, if y'all, how you gonna use the U.S. currency and you fighting them? Let's have this conversation. It's about time.
That's
Anybody on the
understandable.
panel know how this is supposed to work? Can anybody explain this one to me?
Look, I'm just confused.
Anyone?
Don't give me the line.
Mic check. Mic check.
Where your supplies coming from?
1-2.
I forgot.
What you think you're gonna bust shots at the U.S. military and walk right up in Walmart and buy some food?
Did they ever watch the episode of Pretoria? I'm still that's still relevant, right? My family is typing in the chat.
Let's even make it simpler than that. Where you gonna get your water from? Think you're just gonna walk into a water fountain after busting shots off? I mean, when do we use reality and common sense?
I haven't seen a plan that looks like it's gonna work that way. I haven't seen it.
I'm like, Brother James, not to be funny, but if you shooting yourself, I can't. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna do it. You won't be defending me shooting yourself.
And if you don't think that the government has that kind of power over people, ask folks in Flint if their water been fixed yet, if they got drinkable water yet, if they can take showers without getting some kind of skin irritation. The government has the power to fix that, but why are those people still suffering? Why are so many people, why are so many people lost land due to eminent domain? They can do nothing about it. You can say that you're getting outside of the government. You can say that you're going to be, operating outside of that or whatever have you, but they're part of your life regardless. Certain things you can't get out of. And yeah, it's better to not need them if you have the choice, but still got to deal with them. And just because the law says one thing today don't mean it's going to be that way tomorrow. Wouldn't it make more sense? Wouldn't it make more sense to operate in a legal fashion that allows you the power to not only live and thrive in peace as citizens, but also to have enough influence over what the people making the laws are doing to where they're writing laws that uphold your protection, that uphold your well-being? Think about how we got here. What did all them people in the 60s do? What did all them people in the 1860s do to get the rights that we have now? And you can say, well, then the rights are not rights, they can be taken away. Sure, okay, you can make that argument. But the ability we have to move and to operate and to do the things and to take part in the programs that we have now, we have them because somebody established them. Those laws were written. And if we as a lot of people around us, a lot of people around us that aren't necessarily in our community are starting to see, just because you got them protections today don't mean you're gonna have them tomorrow if you completely avoid the decision-making process. You got to be a part of it, because you're gonna be a part of it whether you like it or not, whether you're taking part in it or not. So just a word of advice, at least be a part of the process, because once you get removed from the process, do you have a say then? I don't think so.
Good question.
I use the mic.
And that's the next thing that I find, to me personally, it might just be me. How can you complain about the system? How can you complain about the laws and the conditions, but you don't play an active part in your local community to make anything change? I mean, really.
Wait, that was an actual valid statement. Can you say it again, please, Bones?
How can you complain about the laws, the conditions, the environment, if you're not even doing anything locally to make a change? I mean, really.
I just sound like a hot air balloon to me.
I mean, all the rah, that's good for showtime. But sometimes you got to turn the TV off and got to get the reality. Problem is, for the last 20-some years, we've been entertained. And some of us are enjoying being entertained, even if it means bringing us down even further. The solution is never yelling and screaming. The solution is, once you recognize there's a problem, fix it. Why we got to make things so difficult, so technical? If the people that got voted into office are not bringing about the changes that the community so dearly needs, wouldn't it make sense for the community to organize and elect one of their own that will? I mean, panel, help me out here. Does this make sense, or am I just like losing it? Somebody, please.
How long has it been
You make both sense.
I mean, it's been a thing forever to vote somebody in, to vote for people that don't fool with you out. I mean, we just got to get this civics lesson sometimes. Who are the people? Who is Congress? I don't know if everybody got the answer to that question. Hold up. Mike Easton said, I got a question.
Oh, what's up, Mike Easton?
I also don't know how long ago that was. It was in our background.
Oh,
but you got the floor. You got the floor, Mike, whenever you hear this.
Yeah, just let us know. Yeah, because even with that, how we mentioned law, with our brother Mike Easton, and with the service that they can bring to the community that a lot of us need right now, could have used a couple of years ago. And when they get the chance, they'll be able to speak briefly on it. But it's something that we can use as a community, another solution. I mean, anybody keeping scope? I know it's not about that, but really, was anybody keeping scope?
But when you lose count, you just, try to find something else to do and act like you still count.
I mean, like, not to be funny, take it as a shot as you want, but I hear a whole lot of people holler about winning. I think a lot of people forgot what winning looks like. Winning isn't you coming up on a personal income. Winning isn't you flashing shoes and money. Winning isn't you showing what car you drive. Winning is when your community can stand proudly because it's producing for itself. Winning is when the American Indian can hold his head high in his homeland. Winning is when we take back the power that we gave up to make decisions on how we live our own lives day to day. That's winning.
Man, I don't know if I heard any L's in that.
Don't give up one form of indoctrination for another. Please don't. It's so easy, happens so fast. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. What the panel got? What the panel got to say?
I got a question, Brother Bones.
Uh-huh.
Say our brothers and sisters who come out of prison, are there programs for them to also be able to succeed in life?
Yes, it is. Because the majority of the programs that we cover, you don't ask about a criminal background. If you have a criminal background, that does not stop you from having an LLC. That doesn't stop you from being a part of an institution or designing one.
One more again.
And now imagine when we are the owners of these institutions, then we change the standard for our people.
Hey, you gonna turn yourself down?
Mm-hmm. And since you mentioned it on law and stuff, if you got a minute, can you explain, the information that you brought to us that we believe that the community can really use?
Well, me and my lovely young lady, we're part of we help get legal services to people who need them, and this can be for everyday life. If you have a business, you own yourself a business, and need to know certain laws as far as business go, you can always call your law firm up, or starting up a business, or traffic tickets, or anything criminal. You have to protect yourself, like anything. It doesn't matter what it is, because as far as our community goes, we know for a fact that having lawyers or calling lawyers or even getting in contact with a law firm, it takes money. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like, oh, that's money that we don't have. Well, we help provide lawyers so that you can lawyers at a reasonable price, where anybody can get legal services. You understand what I'm saying? Or protection. And you can also be a rep. So you can be a part of this, and you can also help get people legal services actually through your business. Even if you have a business and you have employees, you can get legal services for your employees. They get protection. And that's something that our people definitely need.
Wow, yeah.
And I don't want to, bring out what's happening to our people right now when it comes to law enforcement. Well, guess what? As soon as you let them know that you get pulled over, and you let them know, well, let me get in contact with my law firm.
Mm-hmm.
Police act totally different. They don't.
Correct.
They don't treat you with disrespect or anything like that. Matter of fact, they treat you much more nicer, and they're like, how can we, be of services for you? Everything changed. So that's one of those things where our people get beat up through law, especially people who try to take law into their own hands or try to go to court without representation. And man, they lose. They lose bad. Well, guess what? They're not lawyers. They don't know how to speak the language. I'm not a lawyer. I can't even speak the language. Hence why I got involved in these services, because I needed them. I needed those services, and I'm pretty sure everyone on the panel and everyone that's listening to the show need legal services.
Correct. So
that's a fact.
Real quick, you mean to tell me I don't have to spend nights and nights and nights on Google coming across somebody's fraudulent paperwork to get a legal issue at the touch of a finger to my phone? Yep. I can get in contact with a law firm, correct?
This is correct. And with technology. And matter of fact, you can get protection for your whole family. Your whole family. Up to 10 kids. You and your spouse and 10 kids. You don't even have to be married. I mean, that's always.
Hold it now.
Yep.
What'd you say? What?
Yep. You get protection for if you have up to 10 children in the household, get them protected. Your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife,
In the
husband,
household. Good.
everyone's protected at a reasonable price. That's
All right.
and that's the best part about it.
So not only are we designing our own institutions, not only are we taking the responsibility of becoming a keeper of our records in Ohio Player. That's a beautiful thing. With the Urban Indian Historical Society, all our records that we keep, we have a place of our own that we can store them. Our collective history. Not only do we have that, we have the ability to produce, grow food for ourselves and to tap into other agribusiness fields. We also have the ability to tap into legal services. So in a lot of these fields, we don't have to be moving blindly. No sellout. What that Scobo said again?
Man, it's a lot to a little. I lost count when we started the live stream. All right. I lost count. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe they unplugged it. I think the gym is closed. I mean, we ain't in the bubble right now, so I don't know. They might have unplugged it on. Scores a lot to a little, just so y'all know.
Guess what else they do for you? I forgot to tell y'all about this. Say you wanted your business, you wanted your LLC, you needed your business connected to whatever state that it is. Guess what? Your law firm or your lawyers will call the I gotta say this, either the patent people or to get your business that name.
Mic check. You're breaking up, Bones. You're breaking up, Mike. Mic check, Mike. Couple sentences back. You gotta go back. Yeah, you good right now.
Okay.
No, I'm still breaking up a little bit. Is that me, y'all? I'm going on mute.
I can hear y'all.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So, as far as your business goes, help your business started.
No, it's breaking back up again. You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I had to stay quiet. I didn't know if it was me for real. Yeah, you're breaking up, Mike.
You're gonna have to go to the kitchen again, Mike.
Rapitan. You stupid. They were calling you out, Mike. You know where you was at.
And you get a clean signal, we'll definitely be back. And that's something that we'll be setting up with them to bring to the community where they can do a more thorough breakdown of what the services can be provided and how you can use it. So that's something else that will be coming to the community that we can use. Again, the only thing missing from this is our creativity. It's how bad do we want it? To show up on these live streams, in these chats, in the event, okay, that's cool. Now what? Now what? The yelling screen. After a while, now what?
Grandma Killer's tool.
You know it. Apply the information. None of this is imposed on anyone. It's designed for you to take what it is that you are passionate about, for you to identify a need in your community, where we can have a service to take care of it for ourselves. I mean, really, are we going to be aware of the opportunity and just let it go by? Are we going to push the envelopes of creativity and see how far we can go? was hoping to see was our brother Kerry Bay was going to get on the panel. Because even with that, the next branch of the nonprofit, thanks to our brother Kerry Bay, is mechanic car repair. So where we have the ability now for less fortunate families in the community that don't have transportation. Our brother designed the institution to provide transportation for those of need. So again, when those say that there's nothing being done, there is no work, I will advise you to humble yourself, because the American Indian is working constantly. I mean, any thoughts from the panel? I mean, what's on your mind? We haven't been here for a minute.
Hey, you on the couch. You ever think about doing something with your life? You ever think about starting a business? Ever had an idea that you like to go forward on? Hey, you on the couch. We're talking to you.
You're sitting on the couch right now. You're not doing anything anyway. They out to help you. I better listen to that man with sideways cap on.
Real attorneys, actual law firms. No, meet me behind 7-Eleven and let's exchange paperwork. No, take this out and put your name in. No, actual verifiable legal law firms.
Exactly. That are specific in certain areas.
24 hours a day too, y'all.
Hit that, man. Them links work. Them resources work. Them programs work. Them fundings work. Man, look.
You got an idea? There's a program for that.
It is. Every idea. Listen, every idea that I thought was new, there's nothing new under the sun. Because look, every idea that I thought was new to me. Okay, so it was new. It was just new to me. Every idea that was new to me, there were programs already established for it and funding already there, waiting. Every idea I had, every idea, no exaggeration, every idea. Oh yeah, it's new to you, but come on, go ahead, apply.
I mean, again, the American Indian is working. We're networking. We're growing. And this is the time where it's up to us to unite on that common stance to make sure we identify how we want our story to be told. I mean, and even with that, we have a solution there with our brother Cali. Shout out to brother Cali up there doing the work, actually putting in work, feeding the homeless in these communities. Enjoyed you coming down for the 2 weeks. It was a blast. But through Cali and his LLC, we have the ability to film our own productions, to come up with our own programs. Will we control the images? Will we control the sounds? Oh, but you say if we make it, how will we get it seen? No sellout. Isn't there a mechanism that A2 had developed waiting for a particular moment? Am I correct?
You want to talk about it? You want to go ahead and talk about it?
Wouldn't this be called Ain't American Indian Network Television?
I think everybody knows about this.
Yeah, a lot of people already know.
Before. Yeah.
It's still been running the whole time. A lot of people know. But it's the possibility that when we complain about what we see of the images they show our children on the television, or there's nothing that shows us in a positive light, we have the mechanism to have our own. All we got to do is create our content and make that commitment. And let me show you how this is a community benefit. We have our own network because it already exists. We create our own content. Wow, most of us doing it already. Now we put all of this content in this one hub to where as a community we support it. And it's free. Television network free. It's been free since its conception. It's going to stay free. We go and we watch. Now the numbers of us who support the station go up. Now these advertising companies realize, hold on, this is an exclusive online community. Now as a community, we can dictate what ads are shown to us and the price, making it possible to kick out to the community for supporting the station that the community helped build. So we all eat together.
Oh, man.
This is the possibilities that we have in our hands. This is what we're standing on. We have a problem with the radio the songs and stuff. Hold on, no sellout. Isn't there a mechanism that's already developed for that in our own American Indian radio station?
I feel like you're asking me questions I shouldn't say no to because I know the answer is no. Yes, we have a mechanism, Bones. It's been there. What is it? Tell them about it.
Autonomous Assembly Radio.
Oh my goodness. Come on, Bones. The radio
It's
station
to the
still up,
point
Bones.
where if we have people in the community that's aspiring to be DJs, radio
Hold up.
personalities
Hold
for
on,
the
Bones.
American
You gotta-
Indian community.
Liz Robinson says she still don't know how to find the channel. You talking about
For the
ATV?
American Indian Network Television, when you go to the website and you see where you got the tab link at, you just press on it and it'll pop up from there. Matter of fact,
I don't know if YouTube is
Well,
allowing people to click links anymore in the chat, but I put the website in the chat.
all right. Yeah, you can get it directly accessed through the website. Going to where again, we have it. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I don't mean no sellout. I don't mean anyone
Not at
else
all.
on the panel. I mean we as the
We
community.
as y'all. We as all of us. Actually, as a matter of fact,
So
Bones,
as a
everything
community-
like me and you and Copper, I thought it was just community.
Yeah,
Always. Everything that we do, every corner we turn is community.
It's for the community. So like I was saying, you have people that want to go into television production and all that. We have the network to show our own. People want to go in the radio side, but don't like all the other things that come with it. We have our own. We can develop our own industries.
Correct.
Again, autonomous assembly is proof that it can be done.
You got spots for interns and all that.
The question is, what do we as a community want?
Right.
When are we sick and tired of the misrepresentation? From those who don't look like us, to those that look like us, to some of them that are us. When are we going to say enough is enough? And we just walk away from it and build our institutions, rebuild our society, become the keepers of our history, the writers of our stories, the architects of our future. We have heard all the excuses. We have heard them all. And here at A2 Autonomous Assembly, the one thing that we all share in common here, we do our best to eliminate all excuses on why something can't be done. Because if there's a will, there's a way. And a way to where it can be done to where you don't have to be looking over your shoulders. It doesn't put your family in jeopardy. to the point, if we put it on the line, you can recreate the successful steps over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
That don't
And I
stop.
challenge anyone else to put the ideology on the table. Yeah, it might work for you, but can you reproduce them same successful results
Can
for
you
the
ask that question?
community?
Can you ask that question again, please? I need that out there one more time.
Can you put your remedy on the table and reproduce it for the community to be successful?
Hey,
Because again, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. These solutions that we're speaking on benefit the community. Go ahead, my sister Gabrielle.
can I put my remedy out there?
Get them.
A2,
You play too much.
Cab Grand Rising Show, or Cab Grand Rising Show live stream. A2. Just in case people aren't aware of what A2 means, autogenous assembly. We
Gather under the minds that do the work. And for
do
those
work.
for those that was hearing the information from Mike Easton, he put it in the chat, and it's Mike Easton 25 wearelegalshield.com. Again, it's in the chat, and it's Mike Easton 25 wearelegalshield.com. Check it out. It's something that we can use, and we're going to put something together to where him and his wife Ella can come and present this needed information for our communities.
Correct.
So as soon as it's able to be done, we will make sure everyone is aware of that announcement, and we're going to get it out there to you. We're going to keep this thing moving.
Correct. That's Mike Easton 25.wearelegalshield.com.
Hey, can I add something real quick?
Nope. Yep.
Okay. This ain't really about
Hear
me.
them.
Okay. Remember how I said that whole scamming stuff started with my son?
Mhm.
Officially, thankful to the creator and ancestors. A2, they would have got away with it too. A2, autogenous assembly, Cab Grand Rising Show, live stream. They let this little weirdo stay on the line that day. You know, my son, not just me, my son, my whole family officially cleared, officially good, officially not scared, officially sleeping at night, officially, legally, and lawfully, we're good now. Shout out to Autogenous Assembly. Check it out, autogenousassembly.com. Just want to throw that out there real quick.
Man, you lying, ain't you?
Nah, I'm really not. I'm really not.
Congratulations.
I'm really not
All of y'all.
exaggerating. I'm really
Sleep.
not
Sleep easy.
exaggerating. Matter of fact, we got an appointment
Probably
so
smile when
that
you
my
sleep now.
son can get his ID. You know,
Hold up.
a state
Identification?
ID. Identification.
To identify himself?
Identification.
Okay. That way, you know, if there's a chance he gets pulled over, he can not get into it with the police officers by not having ID.
Exactly.
You can just say, "Here you go," because you asked for it.
Exactly.
Would you put me over for?
Matter of fact, let me throw another thing out there.
James Brown, what'd you put me over for?
I got a driver's license. I got a driver's license.
Get the light out my face.
Just want to put that out there and say that again, autogenousassembly.com. If you don't want somebody all up in your scamming business, all up in your personal business, if you don't want somebody all up with your business where you have to file identity theft, come to Autogenous Assembly, where the real work is actually done. Just want to put that
You
out
got
there
your
real quick.
whole family out of trouble.
Whole
Okay.
family,
Good
whole family.
Got you. It's good to hear. Great to hear. Grand to hear. Peace. I mean, and
So when you think about it, we joke about it a lot.
Right.
And when I talk to Gabrielle and I tell them, like, you don't realize is that you speaking here and every time you speak is a living testimony that it works. Because
Yeah.
the situation that you called in that day, and a lot of people in the chat don't remember the day that you called in, to where you are now, to being a sponsor of an American Indian farming co-op. So that's why I tell you all the time, much respect, because when people say it can't get done, when people throw shots our way, knowing that every day that we're around someone that took the information and applied it, it doesn't matter because it works.
Absolutely. Anybody thinking it doesn't, and I'm gonna say this. At no time, I'm saying this because it's true. I'm saying this because I have nothing to lose. I'm saying this because it's no need or point to lie. I was in a real serious situation. My whole family was in a real serious situation. And I mean, I know I make jokes and stuff a lot, but at the end of the day, I do the jokes because, laughing feels better than crying. But at the end of the day, what doesn't change and what doesn't get taken away from the assistance and the help and the guidance, the truth, more than anything, the truth, not a scam, not pay $39.99 for a packet of sovereignty, not pay $39.99 for a packet of fake Indian sovereignty, but actual truth. Like, hey, this is the situation. This is what it is. This is what you need to do to fix this. This is how this needs to be handled. Honest. And I know I don't get into detail or anything, but today, officially, whole family, what? Can't nobody say anything. Can't nobody rebut it. Can't nobody, people can sit sour and suck grapes all day long, but it won't change the truth. The truth is always going to stand no matter what somebody says, no matter how somebody's mouth gets fly, no matter how somebody's mouth gets jazzy. It doesn't change the truth. The truth will always stand. And at the end of the day, Latasha Assembly, Cab Grand Rising Show, them programs work. The way works. And I get, Bones and will say they're not saying that they're the only way, but for me, yeah, it's the only way I know, and it's the only way I want to know. Period. Bones, Doodoo, Copper, Indio, Carrie, no sellout. Like, what? There's nothing you can say. A whole family. We can sleep at night. There's no craziness going on. There's no craziness getting pulled over. There's no craziness at the front door. There's nothing crazy. Just saying. Just want to put it out there. I didn't think I would ever be able to do anything in the community again. Not only am I doing and helping in the community the way I wanted to and the way that we wanted to and want to, having a business, it didn't deter, it didn't take from, it didn't stop that. Establishing a nonprofit, look, them programs work.
Oh, you were still able to do all of this after all of that?
Yes.
Oh, come on
That's
here, man.
what I was scared of. And I mean, I know people throw scared out there. Oh, you scared. You know what? I'm not about that life. I'm cool. I ain't about that life. If making me a punk makes me, because I'm not about that life, makes me a punk, cool. I'm cool with that. My family is cool with that. Because what we got is bigger and better, and what we're a part of. We're part of A2. We represent A2, and that is something proud for us. That is something proud for me to say. I'm a part of A2. Where I'm at, you know what? Doodoo, Bones, Copper Indio, Double Cousin, or should I say no sellout, Carrie Bay, Big Little Cousin. I'm just saying, like, can't nobody take that. Anybody saying anything different than they don't know. They haven't learned. They haven't experienced. They haven't grown. They haven't shown. They haven't read. They haven't researched. They don't know. Anybody saying anything different, anything opposite of positive, uplifting, moving, like building. Anything, anybody saying anything different. Only thing that tells me is, where you at in life? Stagnant, stuck? Where you going? Nowhere? Okay. That's just where I'm at. That's why I'm just put it out there. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's it.
And for me personally, to sum it up, because y'all know me, some things I got real good recall. And back to that day when our sister came and needed help, and many, instead of helping, sat there, took shots, joked, asked dumb questions. Now what?
Exactly.
You say you're for the community. Yeah, they say you say you're here for the community. You say you're about the American Indian. But when American Indians really need help, where are you?
Thank you, Bones, because I actually forgot about it. You know, I have a tendency to forget about negative things like that and push forward. But thank you, Bones. I do remember. Like, you know what? Look, everybody hopes for hope at the end of the day. But truth be told, at some point you gotta have that. And you, Bones, and Copper Indio said it one day. It was wait a minute now. That wait a minute now question. You got to ask that wait a minute now question. That wait a minute now feeling that you get, wait a minute now. There's something to that. Wait a minute now. It is. Anybody telling you, oh, you got to read for yourself. Read what? If I got the book from you and you wrote the book, what you mean I got to read for myself? I need you who wrote this book, who wrote this PDF.
Exactly.
To give me the understanding of your interpretation. You wrote this PDF. You gave me this PDF. You gave me this book. You gave me this package. What you mean, read for myself? Read. I ain't do it right. I'm confused. Well, tell me what you did right. Tell me how it's working out for you before I be sitting on the phone with no jeans on. I'm just saying.
But that's my thing, and I ask again. Their solution and the solution that's proposed, can you recreate it for others? Can you recreate it for a whole community? Make no mistake about it, this is not a contest. This is not a competition, because lives are, families are at stake. And here, we're not trying to be right. We're making sure we get it right. So again, can your alternative solution be reproduced to help the community? And if not, why are you even talking? Why even speak in the American Indian's name? Because the American Indian does not represent an individual.
Sure doesn't.
I mean, it's time to stop playing. Really? I mean, any more insight from the panel? I mean, how y'all really feeling? It's the time to get it out.
Well, I feel good, but that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What's going on, y'all?
I feel good. I feel like anybody talking about what they doing for community. What's that? What's that saying? Show up or shut up.
I mean, hey, even if you're talking about community outside of that, you can come over here. We can talk together. We're supposed to be getting together, you know?
Listen, I'm hungry. Anything you do for the community, I'm hungry. I need to eat. What's up?
Correct.
What's up? I'm broke. I ain't poor, but I'm broke. What's up?
Broke.
Help me get unbroke. I'm just saying.
Brandon T. Jackson.
If you ain't broke and I'm broke, help me get where you at. I'm just saying, you for the community. Right. I'm just saying. I don't have a condo. I don't want no condo though. But
You're right. You're right.
I'm okay. I'm okay with my house. I'm okay where I'm at. I'm just saying. All these things, if you're doing for the community, show up or shut up. Period. 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 If you help in the community, you know what? I remember when I was younger, I remember elders saying, when you do stuff for people, you don't talk about it. You just do it.
Mhm.
You don't talk about it. You don't let other people know you did it. You could have gave somebody a couple of $100. You don't talk about it. You could have gave somebody food. You don't talk about it. Now you may have a conversation with your close friends or your close family members, people you're close to on what you did, but it's not in clout. It's just on, hey, this is what went on with me today. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about doing for community, show up or shut up. Period. What are you doing? Who are you helping? Period. I mean, it's too much stuff going on all across every state, every county, every city. It's too much going on. There's too much mental illness. There's too many drug issues. There's too many homeless issues. Like, it's people living pillar to post. Come on now. There's too many people who don't have vehicles. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing other than talking? And you know what they say about talk? Talk is cheap. You can get that any time of day. But what are you doing? Because if you doing, you ain't got time to talk. You got too much stuff on your plate to do. You barely got time to have a conversation. Sometimes, a lot of times, you barely have time to have a conversation with your own family, maybe even your own children. What you doing?
Talk about it, man.
I'm just saying. What are you doing? You doing for the community? Show up or shut up. All this sour talking and this back and forth and this is, oh my goodness, this is literally YouTube of our lives, social media of our lives. As the world turns over on its head, that's what it is. Social media of our lives as the world turns over on its head. What are you doing? Who are you helping? And it's not a show all your success stories, but at the end of the day, if you are helping, then it's going to show. If you're not, you're just going to keep talking about it. Most people who have nothing to hide and nothing to prove have no problem saying what it is. Period. That's me, my bad. My bad.
Man, you know I agree 100%.
You know what? It must be the inspiration of getting a driver's license. I don't know. I'm excited.
But see, and like I said, this is a community discussion, and y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it 100. We have people that know that the same way that people will tell you to do and stand on your square. We have brothers and sisters that know for a fact that it don't work. And they know for a fact because it don't work because they attempted it themselves. So
you know they did it wrong. Well, that's
everybody do it wrong.
They did it wrong.
You know what?
100% wrong. I don't know.
I gotta.
How you make wrong go right? I'm like, it's wrong.
You just made me think about it. You just made me think about it.
Let's step.
Mm-hmm.
When you deal with a doctor who has a private practice, what is that? A private practice, right? They're just practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you
Don't look
deal
over
with when you deal with someone who says they private but they practice and say how'd it work for you, ain't that a practicing? That's practicing on your life. That ain't practicing on you. That ain't practicing in the court. That ain't practicing with taxes. That ain't practice. That's practicing with your life. Hey, you still talking to me? What's going on? Anybody come visit you? Private practice. That mess is ridiculous.
But that's what I'm saying. And it's not that nobody's taking shots. Nobody's trying to say they're better than nobody.
Right.
Push all that aside and let's deal with reality. Let's deal with truth. Even throw the facts out the window. Let's deal with truth. What is and what's not. There's brothers and sisters who have attempted these same ways as being repackaged up over and over, blending in more Indian spirituality, all this different stuff to come up with a way out. It don't work. I don't care what you rename yourself. It don't work.
Yeah.
You cannot reproduce it for anyone else. The same thing gonna say, well, you gotta test it for yourself and don't call me if it don't work, because it don't work. If a person is giving you a disclaimer, don't call me if it don't work, what should that tell you?
Yeah, what should it tell you about this thing you
Yeah.
gotta get yourself into?
For real. And I'm glad you said that, Bones. This is not about throwing shots out. This is truth be told. Seriously, when you follow someone else's direction and you follow behind something and you have that wait a minute question, and then it's like, wait a minute, if this is supposed to help the community, if this is supposed to help people, why my situation getting worse? Hold on, why this thing getting worse and worse and worse? Well, you ain't doing it right. Well, I'm confused because this thing got worse the moment of.
I thought it was supposed to free you.
Cut your free DUMB. Dumb.
Okay. That kind of free, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of free, Gabrielle, didn't we charge you up front and then we charge you like a second and third and fourth time when you kept asking all them questions? How much did we charge you total? What was the total number? Can you get that round figure?
Yeah, you never tried. What? Yeah, you never tried.
What was the price, Gabrielle?
Y'all never charge me anything. Nada. Nothing at all. I don't know any other language to say it. Nothing. No charge.
I mean, there's not a
service
person.
is free. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
I don't think there's a person that ever called in that can say that we charge them anything.
Yeah, please.
It's not a mechanism.
It would be interesting. It would definitely be interesting if somebody called in and said, "Hey, they charged me $39.99 for a packet that they said would free me as an." I don't know. Nobody would. How long we've been up, Bones? How many episodes? 400 something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more.
Yeah, 400 and something that's shown. Total of 500 and what is 507.
Yeah, so we I forgot about those. Man,
But even
shout
on
out to
that,
consciousnessassembly.com where the extra episodes is at. Man.
Peace,
yeah.
Jay. Yes, we got
Jay
Jay Cat 100 is joining in his audio and stuff, right?
Peace, Jay. Welcome to the panel.
But even on that we used to laugh on that when people be like outworkers. I'm like, I could have swore we formed a legal institution, put in, and like I said, this is not bragging. This has nothing to do with it. It's just when you think about it, when people want to say keeping score real quick. So even though the scoreboard broke, we still finna tally this up real quick for the fun.
Yeah,
a whole